Hello, Spiffers. Welcome back. It's good to see all of you. It's good to be here. I'm really excited to be with you today and do our next 5-minute tip of the week for Spiff. My name is Jamie Woodhouse. I am the CEO and head trainer at SaaS Educators. Excited to be with you today. Now, as we've done a couple of these, you might have a question of, all right, Jamie, why are you wearing ties? What's up? Nobody wears ties anymore. This is just you look too crazy. What are you doing? I don't know. I have been in a tie mood these last couple of years. You can ask all the people at Spiff and at Salesforce. I'm a tie guy. I haven't been that way my whole career, but when I made a transition from, not to get too much into my history, but basically when I was climbing the corporate ladder and working at tech companies and building tech companies and things like that. And I moved back to my passion, which is teaching and education. I started wearing ties. I don't know. It was just kind of a weird thing that I did to where I'm just like, I'm turning a new chapter of my career. Now I'm a tie guy. We'll see how long it sticks. Anyway, let's jump into it today. So today what we're going to talk about is how to increase communication with our reps so that as they are in their statements, they can reach out with questions really quickly. We have a ticketing system within Spiff, or it links and integrates with an existing ticketing system. If you have something like Jira or something else, you can use that ticketing system. But wanted to make sure that everybody is aware that there's a real quick and easy way for reps to be able to communicate back and forth and ask their questions that they run into. And you can keep track of all those tickets as an admin and make sure that everybody is doing all right. So first, how do you turn this ticketing system on if it's not on? Well, if you go up, you log into your Spiff site, you go up under admin, you go to settings, and then under company settings, the first one that you're on, if you scroll to the very, very bottom, we've got two options. We've got use Spiff ticketing system or to use another tool. If you use another tool like Jira, basically just gives you a place where you can put in your link, a hyperlink to the site that you use, and it will just launch that site and you'll use that ticketing system as you're familiar with it. I am going to talk about Spiff's ticketing system that's actually built into this. So you can do a couple of things when you do this ticketing system. You can actually have the communication, if questions come, go directly to team leads or leaders of the sales group that you have set up in your teams within Spiff, instead of coming straight to you as an admin. I think that's a great idea. Hopefully the managers or the leads of their teams can kind of see what kind of questions come their direction so they can work with you as an admin on maybe we can tweak some things, maybe we can do some things better to make this a little bit easier to understand or to tell the right story, like I've mentioned before. Big part of commissions is just telling the right story, making sure it's clear so that they can see exactly how their commissions are created. I'm not going to play with this right now. With the team leads, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're welcome to check this box and kind of choose what options you want to do if you want it to go to team leads. I'm just going to keep it simple since we're only doing this for 5 minutes, and so that you can see just what the ticketing system does. All right, once that's enabled, now if we go back to commissions, when a rep comes into the commission, so if I'm Ava Sassna and I go ahead, we picked on Ava Sassna last time. So let's talk about Chloe this time. If we go and we click on Chloe and we come into her statement, she now has a little bubble up at the top here to open a ticket. That didn't exist before. Now it does since we have that turned on. Even if it's linked to your outside system, that's how you use it, is you click on the open the ticket. We talked about tracing last week. So let's say I was even tracing. I went into this big deal commission. I see these commissions. There's not a lot of information in here. So I want to ask some questions about it. I can click on this deal and I've got a ticket right up here as well. And I can submit that ticket. If I go ahead and open the ticket, I can, it says who I am, which plan I'm on, what period I'm on, and I can enter a subject, quick question, and I could ask about issue with a deal. I can even attach any attachments if I want, if I have pictures, if I have any kind of documentation that I want to go ahead as a rep and make sure that you're clear with that. I can upload those if I want to, but just really quick, and then I can go ahead and submit that ticket. All right. As an admin, what you can do is then you can see all of those tickets when they come through. Honestly, off the top of my head, I'm not exactly sure if it'll communicate to you in any way. There's Slack integration within Spiff to where you can tie Spiff to your Slack. I don't know if it would send you a Slack message letting you know that there's a ticket waiting for you. You might just have to go into your tickets periodically to go ahead and see that. But that's something I'll play around with. That actually is a really interesting thought. I'll have to see if that works. So as an admin, I go up to admin and down to tickets. And this is where I can see that quick question came in. It gives it a ticket number. I can see who created it. It says Jamie Woodhouse since I was logged in, but if it was Chloe that was logged in, it would say Chloe in here. And now it says that it's unassigned. So I can go ahead and just click on the subject. I can see the quick question. I can give it a status. I can say it's in progress when I start working at it. I can actually assign it to someone else. If I have a user or their manager that I want them to get some information back to me for the user. If I've got, if I want to go straight back to, I can choose different people that I want to assign it to, but I'm just going to keep this with me. I can actually go into the details here. All right, so I've got an issue with a deal. All right, what deal is she talking about? Looks like it's from the Spiff training plan. It's from December, but I want to see the actual deal that it's connected to. So that's what this view obligation does. And I can see that it brings up this record from the big deal bonus commission payout rule. And I get some data behind it where I can actually see information. This is all customizable as well. I, as an admin, can actually add more information to this obligation screen if I want to, but I can go ahead and look. I can go into Salesforce. I can go into my own Spiff. I can do some research on my own. But the nice thing about this is that I have this all the communication in a ticketing system. I'm not losing emails. I'm not losing Slack messages. It's all combined in here. And I could just say, as the admin, I can say, I have a quick follow-up question for you. And you can add that comment to that. And then, they will be able to see that ticket number that it's changed to in progress, and there's some notes on there, and you can kind of go back and forth. It's really nice. It keeps track of it all right here. And so that you can have the whole dialogue as you go through these. So I love that. I love how it keeps all of that all in one place. I can go back to my tickets now, and I can see all of them are in progress. If I have multiple admins at my company, each admin can have their own tickets assigned to them. You could have it come into kind of a main queue, and then somebody assigns it out to the different admins based off of the team or the plan or different things like that. You can definitely do that and see that. You can actually use this check mark here to assign it to somebody else. If you as an admin see, oh, this is a ticket for someone else, I can go ahead and just quickly assign it to them, goes off of my list and over to them. I would probably say you might want to put a little comment on that as to why you do that, or you might get some ping ponging going back and forth. But you can also just resolve it from here. Again, I always like clicking into it, adding a comment of how this was resolved. so that I know how to how this was fixed, so that if this question comes up in the future, then I can kind of search some old ones and find out how to do that. And then I can just hit resolve ticket. It says, you want to resolve this? I said, yep, I want to go ahead and resolve this. And it will go ahead and take that ticket now so that it is a status of resolved. I can go ahead and change this to only look at new, only look at in progress, so that I'm not always seeing the resolved ones as I keep resolving these out. But hopefully this helps with your communication. The other thing that I recommend doing with these ticketing systems is at the end of every month or after the end of every quarter, start grouping some of these together and seeing if there's themes. I'm getting a question about this one rule on this one plan a lot, and start asking yourself why. Why am I getting a lot of questions? Is it always about, hey, I don't understand where my attainment's at, or I don't understand where I'm at compared to my quota, and so why am I at this percentage? Okay, maybe that will be a light bulb for me as an admin saying, maybe I can go to this statement and start adding some more information on the statements, their quotas, their attainments, where they're at on their different levels, or whatever details you want to share with them to proactively answer those questions so that you don't get pinged as an admin every month to try and solve those questions. All right, so that's our ticketing system. Hope that that was helpful to help you understand and know that that's part of Spiff, and you can use that ticketing system to keep communications. Again, I highly recommend it. It just helps, again, build that trust in the commissions process, because there's a way to communicate. There's a way for them to know that their question is going to get answered, because they've got their own ticketing system that they can ping and say, all right, where are we at on this ticket? I still haven't heard anything. Or they can look through the dialogue in the past and really understand things a little bit better. They can even get their manager or team lead involved if you want to. Hopefully that helped. Have a great rest of your week. And that's our 5-minute tip of the week. And I am out of here.